McKnight here with Service Dog Academy and Diabetic Alert Dog University. This is Q&A Tuesday, and each week, remember, we work with a socialization item, and this week's socialization item, in case you can't guess, is hats. So you need to get your dog used to as many types and shapes and sizes of hats as possible, because you don't want to go to a holiday party, have someone in a costume, and have the hat do this. And have your dog completely freak out in the middle of a public environment and give service dogs and possibly get you kicked out of your work because your dog went ballistic from something like this. So remember, when your dog's a puppy or if you're starting to train for service work, make sure you socialize your dog to as many hats as possible. Okay, our Q&A Tuesday question comes from Artis in Washington State, and she asks us, I wonder about the logistics with regard to training for service work versus training for diabetic alert work first. I imagine that a dog has to be able to behave in public spaces before it can be brought into work while training for specific diabetic alert sense. I've got conditional approval from my employer to do this, but obviously can't bring in a dog that doesn't behave, even if it helps me manage my blood sugar. Can you give me an example of someone who is employed and remained employed while going through the whole process at your school? I just can't imagine how it would work without taking at least a month off from work to get both parts of the training done effectively to pursue this lifestyle successfully. Thank you for your time, and I really enjoy your videos. Artists, this is a really good question. We've actually had to deal with this on a regular basis with a lot of our students, a great deal percentage of our students. And here's the thing, it actually has several different answers depending on your individual circumstances. So the first of which is, if you are in a state that gives service dog in training the same public access rights as service dogs, you're in luck, because you are able to bring your dog into work with you as long as it doesn't interfere with your daily activities or the activities of your employer. You are allowed by law to allow a dog in your work environment, even if it hasn't been task trained yet. So my recommendation, if this is your exact situation, probably if you're in Washington State, it's not, but if this is your exact situation, maybe your city has decided to allow service dogs in training, my recommendation, approach your employer as if this was an educational situation, so that you don't come off across as going, these are my rights and too bad for you. So it's really important that you kind of treat this as a learning situation for both you and them, and that it's not going to be a negative situation for them. The second way that you can deal with this situation is do what I did. Work with your employer. What I did was I saved up my holiday pay, and I took off a combination of 3 weeks of paid and unpaid vacation time during the Christmas and New Year's holiday, so I could get my pup some basic obedience training and some basic task training and some basic socialization training during that time period. Additionally, I provided them with a list of 14 things that I personally was going to do to make the situation for them as easy as possible. So this included stuff like lining the floor of the area in which my puppy was going to be with plastic, so that if there was an accident, there never was, if there was an accident, there wouldn't be stain left on the carpet and he wouldn't get hair on the carpet. I told them that I would provide him with toys to play with, and and I would make sure that those toys didn't make any type of noise. So no squeaky toys. I took all the squeakers out of the toys. I also told them that the dog would be leashed at all point in time so that they didn't have to worry about a dog roaming around, a puppy roaming around their environment. And then I also provided them with a emergency backup plan, just in case I was to become incapacitated. So what you need to do is you need to make your employer think that you have all types of situations handled, that they don't have to do anything in order to help you, access your work environment with this dog. Most of the problem comes from the fact that employers think they're going to have to do a ton of work in order to allow you to have your dog in there, and it's going to be a liability for them. So make sure that you show them that you've thought out everything that could happen in your work environment. The third way you can deal with this issue is get some training done ahead of time prior to bringing your dog into work. So this would include basic obedience training, basic public access training, basic socialization training, and basic task training. This can be accomplished one of two ways. It can be accomplished through a board and train service, of which we offer for dogs under 15 weeks of age, or it can be accomplished by keeping your pup at home until you've successfully completed some basic obedience, basic public access, basic socialization, basic task training. However, if you do it, it can possibly take up to 6 months for you to be able to bring your dog into a public environment and have them behave in a successful manner. And so it's really important that you really think out all of the aspects of this. Do you want to take your dog in immediately? Let's get your dog into a board and train situation, or do you want to wait 6 months? It's up to you. There's trade-offs with each option there. My personal recommendation, do a board and train. Specifically in the hands of a highly trained professional who has helped to train or has actually placed 5 to 10 adult public access certified service dogs. If that person that you're working with has not trained at least 5 to 10 public access certified adult dogs, what you're doing is actually allowing your person to experiment on training your dog. So good luck with this situation. I know it's a kind of a sticky situation to be in, but there are a couple of things you can do to make it more successful and make it easier transition for your employer and for you to bring in your dog or dog candidate into your environment. Good luck, and we thank you for asking the question. If you have a question for Q&A Tuesday, email us at questions@servicedogacademy.com, and we will try to answer them in our next episode. If you would like to learn more about our diabetic alert dog training videos or medical alert dog training classes, please contact us at info@servicedogacademy.com. And don't forget, we can come to your state to do a diabetic alert dog class. If you can gather at least 4 students in your area, we will fly out to your location and teach our 4-day intensive diabetic alert dog class, just like we did in Denver, Colorado this year.